the SEC and the Big Ten. Chris, it's Alabama against Wisconsin, round two. You excited for Saturday?
Yeah, I am, especially after last Saturday because the team played so well. And I think able to pick up on the practice field last week was huge from where they had left off. They had 2 great weeks of practices. We talked about going into Florida State. And after the first drive, it didn't translate. And we know what happened. This week, they went back to work again, got the job done on the practice field once more, getting ready for ULM, and then showed it for the full 60 minutes. A great outing, and couldn't have asked for much more than what you got. And now to build off of that, keep the momentum going, that'll be the key. Don't think, okay, well, we've got it figured out and we're done. No, you got it figured out. Let's go get better and build off that and show an even better performance against a Big Ten team.
That seemed to be a theme from your conversations with Coach DeBoer, both with us on radio and on the television show. Yes, happy 73-0 feels great, but still so much work for this football team to do.
Yeah, there is. And I think that's why this can create a different type of challenge to learn from. Because you look, Ty 17 of 17, 3 touchdown passes, 1 touchdown run. He was great. The guys behind him were great. Uh, Ran the ball effectively, didn't give up a point defensively. Are you disciplined enough, mature enough to leave that where it belongs, which is this past weekend, and then go to work? So they had it Sunday. They had Monday for the most part off, and now back on the practice field on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, getting ready for everything on Saturday. Can you put in the work with the same focus that allowed you to be successful on Saturday's game against the Warhawks? And if they do that, then I think we'll have a similar result. I don't mean 73-0. I don't mean 17 of 17 through the air for Ty, but I'm talking about successful with a comfortable win if you can take care of your business the way you did 1 week ago.
And for the Crimson Tide last year, going to Wisconsin certainly took care of business 42-10, ended up being the final score. And Chris, even though there was a bye week mixed in, and there will be again this year, it seemed like that performance helped lead into the great win we had against Georgia. Hopefully it'll be the similar case this year against the Badgers.
No question. Wisconsin's not the best in the Big Ten. They weren't last year. They're not going to be this year. They're not the best version of what we've seen of Wisconsin in the last decade. But they are still Wisconsin. They are still a Big Ten team. They are talented and capable enough of creating some real problems if Alabama doesn't handle their own business. And so I think the sincere hope is that again, you continue to build off of what you did against ULM with a similar effort and performance against the Badgers, and then you go get healed up, sharpened, and even better prepared to play a Georgia team that we know at their place will be very difficult.
How important would it be just to get healthier for this Crimson Tide football team? We're talking on Tuesday, and there's still a lot that could happen, but just
Sure.
maybe if we could see, Ryan Williams, Jam Miller again, Tim Keenan still working his way back, just getting this
Right.
football team healthier also has to be a priority right now.
I would agree. There's a couple of those I'll be a little surprised if we see back, maybe one or even two, that it won't shock me. Um, but at the same time, because you played so well and you had success at running back, you were able to plug some holes defensively. Because the wideouts, and we know what Jeremy does, and the whole core did a good job. But Lidzier Brooks is going to be a star, and we saw some reasons why with what he did Saturday against ULM, and giving him more reps allows you at least to have the thought that, okay, if Ryan Williams were to come back, maybe we don't have to use him a lot. You can get him back into game shape and back to feel a little more comfortable. And the reality is he didn't have his best game against FSU in the opener. So he probably needs to get some confidence back health-wise as well as play-wise before he goes into that Georgia matchup. So that's why I wouldn't be shocked to see him a little bit. But that's for the coaches to decide, obviously, and figure out along with Ryan and the medical staff as to what's best for him, short and long term. But you do have, I think, a few more options now than you might have had there been a subpar performance, even in a win this past week. You have more trust in the guys that are filling in for Tim, uh, for Jam, and for Ryan as well, and the other guys that have been beaten up and banged up that maybe are borderline for this upcoming game.
How much fun was it just to be back at Saban Field at
No,
Bryant-Denny Stadium? I mean, especially off the tough loss against Florida State, but that home field advantage certainly felt it Saturday night. Would love to see it again this week.
we were all ready for Saturday to get there. And yes, there is something incredibly special about the home game. Did it have a little off of it pregame from what we have experienced? Yeah. Um, it's the first time we've walked into a stadium since 2001 with an 0-1 record. I will also contend that that is the toughest assignment we've had, given that it was a true road game. Don't forget that. That was a true road game. I think 2000 maybe was the last time we lost on the road and then lost at home in the opener the very next year. But these these marquee opponents, Power Four, Power Five, as it was back then, opponents that we faced um, in the opener have been on a neutral field. Even that much talked about offseason matchup between a then number one and then number three, Alabama and Florida State, what turned out to be Jimbo Fisher's last year in Tallahassee. Uh, that turned out to not be as good of an FSU team as most people anticipated, but it was a neutral site game. There's something different playing somewhere on the road. I'm not blaming all of Alabama's failures in the opener because they were on the road, but it's different. And I think there was probably more talk about it being the first time in 24, 25 years that you've lost an opener than it should have been because you're not exactly comparing apples to apples. So uh, being at home is special. Winning is most special. We were glad to not have to go back on the road for a second consecutive week. It was great to be at one of the greatest venues in the history of sports and the place that we do love so much. But at the same time, I think there was understandable nervousness or curiosity to see how the team would play and respond after a very tough week. And they answered that bell extremely well.
Certainly did. So coming up, it's Alabama against Wisconsin on Saturday. And Chris, I know you'll have fun tomorrow. Baumhauer's Victory Grill for Head Coach and the Kalen DeBoer Show. And you talked about your phone call with Bob Baumhauer. You may need to make a call to him and see if we can get some beignets delivered at 8 a.m. out into Champions Lane.
I got a feeling that is doable. Bob's not going to get up cook for us. Spencer might, so we'll see if we'll get that done. But you have given me an assignment, and I like the way you're thinking. That would be a good way to get it done. Yeah, beignets from Baumhauer's are about as good as it gets, and especially on breakfast, and hopefully another beautiful day like we've had weather-wise the past few days in this part of the state. And again, what's most important, having a beautiful score up on the boards when everything wraps up on early Saturday afternoon against the Badgers.
We look forward to it. Chris, thank you for your time. All the best. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, buddy.